Hello everyone. It's Tom's story time again. Please enjoy the story. If you like it, give me a like and subscribe. The moment Lu Ruyan broke up with me, she offered me a check for 100 million yuan. She thought I would be devastated, but the very next second, I used it right in front of her. If I, Chen Mingchuan, had not been born, the world would never know the calamity of love. For the past 7 years, I stayed by her side, trying to love and win over Lu Ruyan. Yet, the instant her white moonlight appeared, she tossed me a check for 100 million yuan and turned her back, intending to go marry the white moonlight who had just returned to the country. That was the guy she had secretly adored for so long, named Yi Cheng. Fine, 100 million, I'm not going to complain about money. Lu Ruyan probably thought I loved her to death and would surely rush to beg and cling to her. But she didn't expect that I would stand right there, take her money, and immediately order 10 delicious meals, then grab my luggage and head straight into the presidential suite. That's right, I'm going to enjoy myself, what else? The story begins again when Lu Ruyan handed me a check and said, "This is the compensation you receive for staying by my side and helping me all this time. Now, let's end things." I didn't care, simply because the system in my head told me I had failed to conquer her and would be wiped from this world within 10 days. What? This is 100 million, are you telling me I can't enjoy it before I vanish? I looked at the check, a smile playing on my lips, and turned to the system to ask, "Can't I still save it?" The system replied, "No." While Lu Ruyan probably thought I couldn't let go of her, she softly said, "I hope you won't bother a Cheng and me anymore, okay?" Okay. I quickly took the check and thought to myself, I've been acting so hard for 7 years. Acting loving, acting gentle, acting like the ideal boyfriend. The result is that now I only have 10 days to enjoy myself, spending 1 million a day. How am I supposed to use it all up? And then I immediately called Jiang Cheng. "Hey, are you around? Immediately arrange 10 beautiful girls to come here for me. I need them right now." "Jiang Cheng, are you crazy? Are you sure you can handle it?" I replied, "Stop talking so much. I want 10 girls now, no less. I've sent the location, they need to be here in 10 minutes. As soon as I hung up, I saw Lu Ruyan's face flush red, and she tried to say, "Chen Mingchuan, are you deliberately trying to provoke me?" I gave a faint smile. "What do you think I'm doing? I've lived a simple life my whole life. What's wrong with wanting to enjoy myself now? Don't worry, I will never bother you and Yi Cheng." She didn't say a word, just stared at me, her voice full of anger. "You better remember what you just said." I nodded, not caring at all. Just then, 10 young ladies stepped out of a luxury car, calling me brother softly, making me feel submerged in a sweet storm. I stepped out, waved goodbye to Lu Ruyan, and turned back to say, "It's still not too late for you to regret this. This is your last chance." She was exasperated. "I don't need it. But I'm warning you, if you get involved in anything indecent, 100 million won't be enough for you to spend." I sighed, thinking to myself, if only I had a month, that would be wonderful. Now I only have 10 days. Then I took the girls' hands and left the place. Everything I couldn't do in the past 7 years, I will do in these 10 days. Drinking to drown my sorrow. I truly don't understand what they are talking about. This is just who I am. I've wanted to live comfortably like this for a long time. For all those years, I had to hold back only because of the system's mission. Now that I'm free, what's wrong with living according to my true nature? If they hadn't mentioned it, I would have almost forgotten the name Lu Ruyan. I worked hard to conquer her for 7 long years, but in the end, I still couldn't enter her heart. So, why are these reporters trying to provoke me? The truth is, I never had any feelings for her. She was just a target in my strategy. She was just the person who, when her entire family objected, still insisted to them that I was the one she chose. She was just the person who, when I was exhausted from work and suffering from unbearable stomach pain, quietly cooked a pot of hot soup for me. She was also the person who, when I failed and lost faith in myself, always secretly helped and encouraged me. Yet, the moment her white moonlight returned to the country, she left me. To be honest, I now have an entire forest waiting for me, Lu Ruyan means nothing to me. Of course, she shouldn't be that important either. Reporters just love to ruin my beautiful day. I raised my head and looked toward where Lu Ruyan had just been standing, but she was nowhere to be seen. The reporters kept asking more questions, but I immediately told the 10 girls to leave the hotel. Before leaving, I turned back and said, "You guys can take pictures and write articles all you want, but stop disturbing my fun. Why ask so many tiring questions?" After saying that, I pulled the girls away and asked the receptionist to rent a room. Just one room. Make it the presidential suite, please. The next morning, the first thing I did when I woke up was rush into the bathroom, throwing up violently. Damn it, I drank too much yesterday. While throwing up, I suddenly saw a mouthful of blood gush out. I immediately flushed the toilet and slumped onto the floor, clutching my stomach. I asked the system, "What the hell is going on?" The system replied, "This body is about to die. This is a normal condition." Ah, right, stomach cancer. I remember now, the medical record is still in the bedside table drawer at home. Back then, the system said if I completed the mission, this disease would be cured. I told Lu Ruyan about my illness, but right at that moment, she had a date with Yi Chang. Lu Ruyan turned to me with an ice-cold expression and even uttered cruel words. "Someone like you can get sick too? Just get lost already." So, in the end, I really am going to pass away. But it hurts, it really hurts. I writhed on the floor, looking out the window where a giant LED screen was broadcasting news about the wedding of the century between Lu Ruyan and Yi Chang. Their wedding photo was also on the screen. Looking at Yi Chang's gentle face as he held Lu Ruyan's hand, my stomach cramped even more violently. Everything in my body ached. I screamed, "System, is there any way to escape this situation sooner? I can't take it anymore." The system replied, "It's not allowed." Then I remembered the system store. I said, "There is a pain-free fruit in there. Exchange it for me." The system asked back, "Are you sure? Exchanging it costs a lot of points you've accumulated across many worlds." I replied, "Absolutely. I'm in too much pain." The system pondered for a moment, and then a bright red fruit appeared in my hand. I shoved it into my mouth. It dissolved instantly, and the pain vanished immediately. I sighed with relief. The system added, "This fruit only works in this world. During this time, you will not feel pain, even if you have an accident or are beaten. However, physical injuries will still occur, such as broken bones or bleeding." I gave a faint laugh. That's good enough. After lying on the floor for half a day, the girls were awakened by my noise and came to help me clean up. We were getting ready to continue our journey for the day. But as soon as we went down to the reception desk, we ran right into Lu Ruyan and Yi Chang. Unfortunately, the receptionist spoke clearly. "Mr. Ji, you rented the presidential suite with these ladies yesterday. Would you like to extend your stay?" I said, "Of course, I want to extend it. This is the most expensive hotel in the city, after all." I turned my head to watch the receptionist handle everything, feeling Lu Ruyan's gaze drilling into my back. But it wasn't my fault. I arrived first, she and Yi Chang came later. It wasn't me intruding on their lives. Afterward, I led the 10 girls out everywhere, indulging in life. On the entertainment news sites, besides the news of Lu Ruyan's wedding, the news about me was equally hot. Chen Mingchuan transforms into a reckless hedonist, living it up in his final days. I didn't care. The internet was full of gossip, critics, and supporters, but I paid them no mind. After all, I was about to escape this place. After seemingly calming down, Yi Chang spoke in a slow voice. "You don't feel like I stole your girlfriend, and that's why you're dissatisfied, right? They say what is meant to be yours will be yours, and if it's not, don't force it. As a man, you should know how to let go. Breaking up and then deliberately trying to seek attention, getting revenge like this, is petty. Do you know how upset Lu Ruyan is?" I was bewildered, genuinely confused, then I burst out laughing. What did I do to be dissatisfied? Besides, if I am dissatisfied, how does that concern you? Whether I can let go or not has nothing to do with you. Me going out with these girls, how does that affect you and Lu Ruyan? And ultimately, whether she's upset or not, why would you think I'd care? I laughed loudly. You call this revenge? I just find it amusing. Hey friend, you probably don't know anything about revenge. Speaking of this, I remembered a previous world where the main character was paralyzed in bed for life and couldn't help but burst into laughter. Yi Cheng immediately took a step back, his face full of caution. I looked at his face, a face that was 7 parts similar to mine. For the past 7 years, Lu Ruyan was by my side only because of this face. When we got together by contract, she even called me a Cheng the moment she started developing feelings. Except for the night before Yi Cheng returned to the country. She drank a lot of wine then, her eyes hazy, but she still looked at me seriously, her head resting on my shoulder as she whispered, Chen Mingchuan, I love you so much. At that moment, I thought she genuinely loved me. It's a pity, in the end, I still failed to successfully replace Yi Cheng's position. Now, they are about to get married. I looked up at the billboard still hanging highest in the city, announcing their wedding taking place tomorrow. It turns out, today is already the 9th day. Suddenly, I felt a strange surge of emotion welling up in my heart, a chaotic flow of energy. It seems this pain-free fruit not only blocks physical pain but does nothing for feelings. Around us, the reporters were still relentlessly taking pictures. I glanced at Yi Cheng and smiled, saying, Don't look at me like that. You're getting married tomorrow. I wish you 2 happiness. He frowned, intending to say something, but I raised my hand and cut him off. Honestly. After saying that, I pulled the girls and the security team away, continuing the fun. However, in my heart, I still couldn't feel as happy as before. It was all Yi Cheng's fault for ruining my mood. That's right, a little more wine and I'll forget everything. Thinking this, I picked up the wine glass and chuckled. The girls beside me also laughed hysterically. The table was full of wine. I said, Come on, let's mix these wines together, let's do something fun. Let's play sake bomb. The girls immediately mixed all kinds of wine into a pale purple liquid. I picked up the glass, chugged it down, and shouted, See how good I am. The girls applauded thunderously, making me even more excited. I picked up another glass, but before I could drink, I felt a discomfort in my throat and ugh. I coughed up a splash of blood. The girls asked in panic, Brother, what's wrong with you? Are you throwing up blood? I choked, coughed, and waved my hand. No, nothing. Let's keep drinking. I told you, I'm super good. I continued to pick up the wine glass, ready to drink more, but just as I lifted it, I vomited another large mouthful of blood. This time, the blood flowed into the wine glass, turning the purple drink bright red. The blood kept pouring out non-stop. The entire table was covered in blood. The girls around were panicking, some filming and taking pictures. Bar staff also rushed over. I looked at my watch. It was 0 o'clock on the 10th day. Just then, a series of headlines popped up on the entertainment news sites. Qin Mingchuan vomits blood in the middle of the night. Qin Mingchuan causes shock on his last night before leaving the world. The bar was packed with people, but luckily, I hired enough security to clear a path out. The reporters even tried to follow my car, but they didn't know I used to be a racer in another world. So, I easily escaped them, driving to a deserted place outside the city. My phone vibrated continuously, flooded with notifications and messages about me, and about Lu Ruyan's wedding. A stream of comments appeared, full of criticism. Chen Mingchuan, you're truly a coward. You're ruining their wedding day. You don't deserve her. Don't you know you should be self-aware as a replacement? I looked through those words and could only smile sadly. Even though I knew this was just a world within the system, reading it still felt a little unpleasant. I picked up the phone, ignoring everything else, and answered Jiang Cheng's call. What the hell are you doing, Chen Mingchuan? Jiang Cheng shouted, but I interrupted him. Jiang Cheng, I've sent the girls home. As for the money, handle it as we discussed. Check the company account. Jiang Cheng angrily said, Is this the time to talk about those things? You said you broke up and were going to find a new life, so why are you making such a mess now? I looked out the car window, gazing at the starry sky, and said, No, I didn't do it on purpose. Who knew I'd vomit blood? Jiang Chang continued on the other end. They told me it looked very real. After saying that, he suddenly fell silent for a moment, then added, "You're not really about to die, are you?" I laughed softly in reply. "That's right. I'm about to die." Jiang Chang yelled loudly, "Damn it! If that's true, why aren't you getting treated? What good is money if you don't use it for treatment? Where are you now? I'll come pick you up." Suddenly, I felt a little sad and didn't want to say anything more. I said briefly, "I don't want treatment anymore." With that, I immediately hung up the phone. Jiang Chang called back repeatedly, but I didn't answer and put my phone on silent. I lit a cigarette, silently watching the surrounding scenery. The sky was bright with moonlight, and peace enveloped the desolate area outside. I saw a small bird with a long tail, looking like a soft little snowball, perched on a branch. I took a picture of it and, out of habit, was about to send it to Lu Ruyan. Honestly, habits are truly the most terrifying thing. When we were together, she loved cute things like this. Every time she saw or touched them, she would be overjoyed, so I got into the habit of taking pictures and sending them to her. But as soon as I opened her chat window, a message popped up. "Chen Mingchuan, you're truly pathetic. Still deliberately putting on an act of vomiting blood just to bother a Chang and me." A suffocating feeling swept over me. The car window was wide open, yet why did I still feel so stifled? Forget it, I won't send it. I had forgotten that we had already broken up. These habits from when I was pursuing her should have been corrected long ago. I exited her conversation, posted the picture of the bird to my personal account with the caption, "Adorable Snowball." But as soon as I posted it, my account was instantly attacked. They cursed me for ruining someone else's wedding. "Chen Mingchuan, you are truly despicable, and I will visit your grave this time next year." I really shouldn't have posted anything. Jiang Cheng's messages kept popping up, but I ignored them. Then, he commented right below my post. "Chen Mingchuan, answer your father's messages immediately. If you don't, I'm going to make the audio recording public." Notably, I received a new message from Lu Ruyan. She wrote, "The person I wanted to marry from beginning to end was always Yi Chang. I am not your possession. If you truly love me, you should learn to let go. A proper ex-boyfriend should be like the dead." I felt a strange wave of sorrow spread from the bottom of my heart, making me choke up. Only my trembling hands scrolled across the phone. I deleted all contact with Lu Ruyan. Social media notifications kept popping up non-stop. Everyone was saying all sorts of things about me, but I didn't want to look anymore. What was this inexplicable feeling of suffocation? I had taken the pain-free fruit, so why did I still feel this heartache? I cursed the system under my breath for having a fake product. The system replied, "Currently, you don't feel pain, but certain physiological reactions due to emotion are unavoidable. You are simply too sad." I gritted my teeth and said nothing. This feeling, though not painful, was incredibly uncomfortable. Her messages kept echoing in my head. If I wasn't already exhausted, I would. Oh well, forget it, there's no point in talking. I asked the system, "How much longer will this feeling last?" The system replied, "Calm down, just about 6 or 7 more hours. In the next world, I will choose a sweeter love story for you." I gave a cold laugh. I have to endure another 6 or 7 hours because of this woman. Even 1 more minute is a huge loss for me. Having said that, I opened the glove compartment and took out a knife. Before the system could finish speaking, I directly opted out of the game. The system was stunned for a moment before saying, "Why didn't you let me finish speaking?" I don't know when the rain started outside. It was raining heavily. I just sat quietly, listening to the sound of the rain and feeling my body gradually losing strength. I threw up a few more mouthfuls of blood. My head started to spin. A feeling of emptiness flooded me along with the system's ding. I felt myself beginning to float upward. The phone slipped from my hand, the screen flashing continuously with messages full of warning signs. Sensational. Chen Mingchuan confirmed to have stomach cancer. Chen Mingchuan has given up treatment. Chen Mingchuan critically ill. Just then, my phone vibrated frantically, displaying Lu Ruyan's number. She called me many times. But I had already left this world, and Chen Mingchuan in this world was no longer present to answer the phone. After several unanswered calls, her messages kept flashing on the screen. Chen Mingchuan, what are you doing? Didn't you say we wouldn't bother each other anymore? Pick up the phone. You've really made me angry this time. The audio recording online is fake, right? Where are you? Meanwhile, entertainment news sites continuously posted hot articles about me. Jiang Chang kept tagging my name online, telling me to answer him. The girls who had been with me for the past few days were also sought out by reporters for questioning. No one said much, but they had tracked down every trace of my journey, including details about my illness during the first and last time I visited the hospital. Social media was now split into two warring factions. One side claimed everything I did was an act, deliberately trying to sabotage Lu Ruyan and Yi Cheng's wedding. The other side argued that if that were true, I must be insane, and if it was all fake, it would eventually be exposed. The two sides argued endlessly across social media platforms. The audio recording released by Jiang Chang kept being replayed. I completely deleted all traces of Lu Ruyan and unfollowed her. The video of me vomiting blood in the bar, along with the scene where I smiled and congratulated Yi Cheng, the groom, I wish you two 100 years of happiness, was still being shared everywhere. The rain grew heavier and heavier. I hovered in the air, looking down at the wet city below, unsure of what I was waiting for. I don't know how much time passed, but I saw that the area began to attract many people. The sound of screeching tires rang out. Lu Ruyan forcefully opened her car door and stepped out. From a distance, she shouted, "Chen Mingchuan." Her voice was full of anger but also a hint of tremor. She strode straight toward my car in the pouring rain, shouting again, "Chen Mingchuan, I'm warning you." But before she could finish, a loud scream came from behind. Oh my God, what is this? The people who had tracked the location from the photo I posted had arrived. They screamed in horror. Is that blood? Oh my God, there's so much blood. The crowd suddenly descended into chaos when one person shouted, "This car belongs to Chen Mingchuan." Lu Ruyan was momentarily stunned, looking down to see the splatters of blood covering the ground. The stream of blood flowed from the car door gap, spreading under her feet with the rainwater. She stepped into the puddle of blood, leaving crimson footprints on the pavement, looking truly gruesome in the wet night. I just hovered nearby, looking at the scene and sighing wearily. Honestly, I spent 7 years pursuing her. How many times was she cold to me? Why put on a crying show like this now? The rain was still falling heavily. Jiang Cheng finally arrived with the police. He saw my corpse and couldn't believe his eyes. He immediately rushed over, fiercely pushing Lu Ruyan, causing her to fall to the ground. Jiang Cheng and I were close friends in this world. I had lost both my parents long ago. We started our business from scratch together and always kept in touch. That's why I called Jiang Cheng when I needed someone to arrange 10 girls for me. He didn't ask any questions, just followed through. Jiang Cheng looked at Lu Ruyan with utter scorn. Aren't you supposed to be the bride? Why aren't you getting married? What are you doing here? He said. You two have already broken up. Didn't you tell him not to bother you and Yi Cheng anymore? Now you're hugging his corpse, don't you feel nauseous? What a despicable person. Then he continued. If it weren't for you, Chen Mingchuan wouldn't have come to this end. Remember this, every year, your wedding anniversary will also be his death anniversary. When you are celebrating happily, don't forget to light an incense stick for Chen Mingchuan. Lu Ruyan wanted to say something, but Jiang Cheng had already turned to the police. They paid no attention to this argument, focusing only on examining my body. Everything was very clear. I had a bit of fame, and this was the car I often used. The car had a 24/7 dashcam, front and rear, recording everything inside and out. After reviewing the data combined with other factors, the police ruled out the possibility of foul play. The investigator who reviewed the dashcam footage said with a sigh of admiration. He was truly decisive, acted quickly, without any hesitation. Hearing that, I felt a little embarrassed. Actually, at that time I had taken the pain-free fruit, so I didn't feel any pain, and I also drank quite a bit of wine, so the feeling wasn't bad at all. Plus, I'm a ghost now. So everything was much easier. But looking at Jiang Cheng, I saw his eyes were red. Staring angrily at the silent Lu Ruyan, he yelled. Mingchuan told me that he didn't want to live anymore. After saying that, Jiang Cheng looked around at the red blood flowing everywhere, and he gritted his teeth. Bleeding so much, he must have been in terrible pain at that moment. I could only stand there speechless. Oh, my brother, don't overimagine things like that. I just opted out of the game. If you're this sad, it's hard for me to rest in peace. I wanted to talk to Jiang Cheng so badly, but then suddenly remembered that he couldn't see me. Oh well, forget it. Afterward, the investigators comforted Jiang Cheng, telling him and Lu Ruyan to cooperate with the subsequent investigation. Since the possibility of murder was almost ruled out, everything went quite smoothly. Lu Ruyan remained silent, her head bowed. I couldn't see her expression, only her tightly clenched hands, nails digging deep into her skin. As soon as they left the police station, they were immediately surrounded by reporters. Ms. Lu, what are your thoughts on Chen Mingchuan's passing? Ms. Lu, do you plan to proceed with your wedding to Yi Cheng? Ms. Lu, Chen Mingchuan's medical records have been disclosed. Do you have anything to say about his choice to end his life this way? A barrage of questions was constantly thrown out, but Lu Ruyan's only reaction was silence. She was jostled by the crowd, looking quite flustered and uncomfortable. Finally, she only turned to Jiang Cheng and asked, "Can you let me keep him?" Jiang Cheng let out a cold laugh and replied, "You're not his wife. You want to keep him? You were the one who told him to leave." His eyes were bloodshot. Now he's gotten his wish, he'll never bother you again. You should be happy. Who are you acting for now? After saying that, Jiang Cheng turned and walked away, leaving Lu Ruyan standing in the crowd, watching his retreating back. I could only sigh. The rain had stopped, but the crowd surrounding us grew larger. Online, the situation also exploded. The reporters present when my body was found were all live streaming. Although the live stream was quickly cut off, countless people managed to see the moment the car door opened and my tragic state spread everywhere. Netizens commented in droves. Chen Mingchuan commits tragic suicide for love. Chen Mingchuan's medical records have been disclosed. He might have been saved. I heard Chen Mingchuan received 100 million after the breakup. Money wasn't the issue, so why did he choose this way? Additionally, some say based on the call between Chen Mingchuan and Jiang Cheng, he clearly no longer wanted to live. Before that, he left all his assets to Jiang Cheng. At the same time, the girls who were with me were also interviewed. One of them said, "Mr. Mingchuan is not what everyone says he is. He is just a pure romantic. Nothing happened between us, the room was just too big." Hearing this, I just wanted to yell, "Shut up. Don't talk like I was that weak. I was sick, understand?" Another girl, Xiao Zhu, said with red eyes, "Actually, he deliberately called us on the day of the breakup. He didn't say it explicitly, but we all guessed that he wanted to see if Ms. Lu would try to keep him." Xiao Qin also nodded in agreement. When he left, he even said it was Ms. Lu's last chance. I was furious inside. Great guessing. Don't guess next time. Xiao Hua added. Mr. Mingchuan even called out Ms. Lu's name in his dream when he was drunk. He clearly loved Ms. Lu very much. Everyone knows she dumped him, but he endured all the humiliation alone. We didn't know he was sick, we just thought he wanted to forget Ms. Lu. But now that I think about it, he had stomach cancer and drank that much alcohol. It must have been extremely painful. Maybe he really didn't want to live anymore. Hearing this, I was speechless. It's true that I called out Lu Ruyan's name, but it was in a dream where I was cursing her. Thank goodness I've become a soul now, or I would have died of anger again. What irony. When I was alive, countless people said I deserved to be dumped by Lu Ruyan. They called me a social failure, saying I didn't know my place. After I passed away, ironically, suddenly everyone started to like me. The crowd incessantly shared videos of me when I was alive. They even edited together tear-jerking moments. All of them talked about how much I loved Lu Ruyan. Social media suddenly united in remembering me in a surprising way. How ridiculous. I sat in Lu Ruyan's car, looking over at her, not understanding what she was thinking. Just now, her assistant, Xiaoan, drove her away from the chaotic crowd. Currently, we were driving around the city. Xiaoan, sitting in the passenger seat, asked, "Sister Yan, where are we going now? Everywhere is blocked by the media. The whole city is about to explode." Xiaoan hesitated to mention Yi Chang but quickly stopped when she saw Lu Ruyan's silence. The car continued to circle the city 3 times. Then Lu Ruyan suddenly said, "Stop." The driver immediately pulled over to the curb. She said, "Get out of the car." The driver and Xiaoan looked at each other, but then got out as ordered. Lu Ruyan sat in the driver's seat and started the car. Xiaoan rushed over in a panic. "Sister Yan, what are you going to do?" Lu Ruyan only uttered one sentence. "Cancel the engagement." As soon as she said that, she drove straight away. I sat next to her, as if I were hitching a ride. She drove windingly through the streets, the streetlights shining through the window creating alternating streaks of light and shadow. I couldn't clearly define my emotions looking at her profile under the dim light. After a while, she stopped in front of my old house. The password was 723521, her birthday, July 23rd. I hadn't been back here for many days. The house was covered in dust. She turned on the light, standing silently at the door, looking at our picture hanging on the wall. "Mr. Chun Mingchuan?" She suddenly spoke, her voice echoing in the empty house. No one replied. She called again. "Mr. Chun Mingchuan?" It was as if I would suddenly appear and laugh. Surprise. "I'm here." But of course, I couldn't. The house remained silent, only her voice echoing. Lu Ruyan began rummaging everywhere, as if looking for something. Finally, she found my medical records in the bedside table drawer. Her hands trembled as she opened it and read, "A lie. Mr. Chun Mingchuan, you lied to me, didn't you?" She said this while flipping through, until she saw the result, mid-stage gastric cancer, requiring immediate hospitalization for treatment. This was the exact day I came to see her for the last time. A single tear silently dropped onto the paper. She held the file, tearing it into tiny pieces, as if doing so would make everything vanish. She paced back and forth in my house like a madwoman, then opened the refrigerator, grabbed wine, and drank continuously. Her phone suddenly rang. It was a message from Xiaoan. "Sister Yan, I managed to get the dashcam footage from the police and sent it to your email. Please check it." Another notification popped up indicating a new email. Lu Ruyan opened the video clip. It showed my image. Xiaoan also noted, after calling Jiang Cheng, "Mr. Ji took a photo of the small bird intending to send it to you, but after seeing your message, he changed his mind and posted it on the platform. After that, he seemed to lose control and took the knife." Lu Ruyan replayed the video, staring intently at the last messages she had sent to me. Suddenly, she burst out laughing, but tears streamed down her face. "Mr. Chun Mingchuan, is this how you take revenge on me?" She laughed and cried simultaneously, her voice full of grief. "You succeeded." I could only sit there laughing, feeling weary. Who uses their own life to take revenge on someone else? That's too silly. I just failed to complete the conquest mission, that's all. I asked the system, "Hey, what do you think she's thinking?" The system replied nonchalantly, "I don't know. I am just a program, I don't understand complex human emotions." Yes, that's true. Suddenly, I remembered something and asked, "Why haven't I left yet? It's been too long." The system replied with a bored tone, "You quit abruptly before I finished speaking. You should have waited until the afternoon for the full 10 days, but you withdrew yourself. So now you have to wait longer to complete the time." I thought about the scene the system had just reminded me of. Damn it. No, I won't think about it anymore. I looked at Lu Ruyan. She had drunk so much that she had to rush into the bathroom to vomit. While she was throwing up, her phone rang again. It was a call from Xiao-an. Sister Yen, I shouldn't bother you right now, but Jiang is currently at the crematorium, preparing to cremate Mr. Chun Mingchuan. I heard the call from Xiao-an, and my heart subtly fluttered, so, everything has come to an end. My body is about to be cremated. Lu Ruyan was still drunk and vomiting in the bathroom. She had no idea that she was about to miss her last chance to see me. A strange sadness welled up in my heart, but then I told myself, nothing matters anymore. Lu Ruyan slowly walked out of the bathroom, wiping away the tears mixed with alcohol residue. She didn't seem to know what Xiao-an's call was about, but something seemed to make her pause. She slumped onto the chair, staring at the phone screen where Xiao-an's message was still displayed. Suddenly, she quietly opened her phone and called Xiao-an back. Xiao-an's voice from the other end was still full of concern. Sister Yen, are you listening to me? Jiang is at the crematorium, and they are about to cremate Mingchuan. Lu Ruyan was silent. A moment later, she softly asked, Can I go there? Xiao-an seemed confused. Sister Yen, but the current situation is that everyone is targeting you, perhaps you shouldn't go. But she interrupted. I want to see him one last time. I sat next to her, watching the scene, feeling my heart sink. Everything is over anyway. I told myself there's nothing to be sad about, I'm about to leave this world. But for some reason, in that moment, I felt like something was holding me back. Complex emotions surged, and I didn't know what I was hoping for. Lu Ruyan stood up and walked out without another word. She disregarded everything, she just wanted to see me one last time. I looked at her with a bit of sympathy, but then told myself, it's probably too late. When she arrived at the crematorium, she walked in, and I silently followed. In the tense atmosphere, everyone was quiet. Jiang was standing near my corpse, his face rigid with anger and pain. When he saw Lu Ruyan walk in, he said nothing, just stared at her with cold eyes. Lu Ruyan moved closer to where I was, her eyes unfocused, with only silence enveloping her. Then she gently whispered, I'm sorry, I came here to see you. Sister Ruyan, please don't grieve so much. Xiao-an comforted her. Jiang burst into an angry laugh. She's grieving? If she's grieving, why didn't she think about that sooner? She's about to get married. I swear she wished Chun Mingchuan would just disappear. Ask her what the last message she sent him was. A proper ex-boyfriend should be like the dead. Xiao-an tried to stop Jiang from talking. It's not like that, Jiang. I don't know how to explain it, but you're a man, don't be like this. Suddenly there was a sound, smack. Xiao-an was slapped by Jiang. Xiao-an was too hurt to speak. Jiang took the opportunity to turn and stare at Lu Ruyan, who was still standing silently beside my corpse. Jiang yelled, Why aren't you saying anything? Can't you open your mouth? Or do you need someone else to speak for you? Lu Ruyan remained silent, her lips tightly pressed together, not uttering a word. Answer me. Jiang screamed, looking like he was going insane. He was truly overwhelmed with grief, and that made me feel sad too. I want to tell him not to be sad anymore, that I'm actually fine, just about to move on to another world. But the problem was, no matter what I said now, he couldn't hear me. Finally, Lu Ruyan moved her lips and whispered, I'm sorry. Jiang laughed scornfully. Sorry? What are you sorry for? He laughed wildly, then suddenly his eyes turned cold, and he gritted his teeth. If you truly feel sorry for him, fine. You should go with him too. I will let you see him one last time. Lu Ruyan looked up. She didn't say anything, just stood still. Jiang was about to say something else. But before he could utter a word, a stream of blood spurted from Lu Ruyan's mouth. Xiao-an rushed over, but it was too late. Lu Ruyan had done the same thing as me, ended her own life. Xiao-an screamed loudly, Call a doctor. Hurry up. He quickly snatched the knife from Lu Ruyan's hand and immediately pressed for emergency services. But Lu Ruyan pushed Xiao-an away, saying to Jiang, I just wanted to see him one last time. Jiang clenched his fists until his knuckles were white. Finally, he gave up. All right, I'll take that as your agreement. Lu Ruyan slowly walked over to my corpse, standing still without saying anything, just looking at me. Blood was still flowing non-stop. Her face gradually turned pale. When the ambulance arrived, Jiang Chong asked her, "Did you love him?" Lu Ruyan stared blankly at me, her lips pale from blood loss. She whispered, "I don't know. I just feel so sad." Jiang Chong was about to say something, but in the end, he couldn't speak. Xiao and shouted, "The doctor is here." Lu Ruyan looked at me one last time, gently saying, "I'm sorry, I came here to see you." She bent down, intending to kiss my forehead, but before she could, she collapsed onto the ground. Doctors quickly rushed over. The ambulance sirens wailed as it took her away from the scene. Jiang Chong just stood there, lost in thought. In the end, he only shook his head. A crematorium staff member walked over and asked, "So, do you still wish to proceed with the cremation?" Jiang Chong snapped out of his thoughts and nodded. The staff began the procedure, and I watched my body being engulfed by the flames, gradually turning into ashes. I asked the system, "Hey, do you think she loved me or not?" The system replied with a mocking tone, "Master, are you getting sentimental again?" I frowned. Why do you guys always analyze everything like that? I'm just curious. If she really loved me, would my mission count as completed? Would I receive points? The system responded with weariness. What are you thinking? It doesn't matter if she loves you or not now, Master. I will transfer you to the next mission in a different world. We will leave when the time is up. The system added comfortingly, "Master, don't be sad about her. There will be someone better in the next world." I nodded. All right, choose a slightly sweeter world. I can't handle this anymore. The system happily replied, "Okay, I understand. Preparing to initiate the countdown for the transfer to the next world. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The system's voice rang out. I watched the sunset gradually descend, then turned to Jiang Chong and said, "Goodbye, my friend. I hope you will be well in this world." Jiang Chong seemed to sense something, looking in my direction, but of course, he saw nothing. I gently waved goodbye one last time, hoping he would live a good life in this world.